In this presentation, I'm going to show you how to create a new style for a font and a new style for a paragraph. Click now to go to the next slide. First things first though, what you really should do is watch the presentation called Presentation for Creating a New Style before you begin this activity. So make sure you know how to create, rename, and see all the format possibilities for creating a new style. Click now to go to the next slide. Now that you're in the New Style dialog box and you've actually changed the name of your style and you've actually selected normal to be the next item you want, when you press enter, you're going to click on the format button at the very bottom of the dialog box on the left hand side and click on font. Notice that whenever there's an ellipsis after a command, it means that another dialog box is going to open, and this is exactly what you want. You want to go to the font dialog box. Click now to go to the next slide. In the font dialog box, you're going to make choices as if you were working in a document. Firstly, you're going to choose the type of font you want. You're going to choose its style, whether you want it to be bold or regular or bold and italic or just italic and so on. And in the next box, you're going to choose the size of your font. That's the third action. Then finally, you're going to choose the font color. Once you've done that, you can click on OK. So just to rehearse again, you're going to choose the font type, the font style, the font size, and then the font color. Click now to go to the next slide. Now after you've clicked on OK, you'll be returned to the dialog box. So you click on Format if necessary, and this time you select Paragraph from the list that appears. In this image, notice that the list has appeared above the word format. In your image, it may appear below it. It just depends on where it's sitting on your screen at the time. So you select Paragraph, and then you'll be taken to the Paragraph dialog box. Click now to go to the next slide. In the Paragraph dialog box, you're going to start working from the top. The rule of the thumb with Microsoft when selecting commands and things is to work from the top and go all the way down, or to work from the left and go to the right. So the first thing we're going to have a look is at General Settings. And in General Settings, you're going to make sure that your alignment for your paragraph is set to left or center, just depending on what you require from your new paragraph and how you'd like it to appear on your screen. The second thing you're going to do is select the type of indentation you want. If you want it indented flush against the left and flush, you are going to select 0 centimeters indentation. And with the right, the same thing. That's got nothing to do with alignment, by the way. Indentation is just how far do you want the text to be pushed in from the left or the right margin. When you click on alignment and you click on justify, that means that it'll be flush against the left margin and flush against the right margin. So the indentation is how far do you want it from the margin. Now if you're going to choose first line indenting, then you need to click on special and then select first line indenting from the selection there. It will automatically select by how much it should be indented, as in 1.25 centimeters and in some cases 1.27. There's so little difference between the two that I wouldn't be concerned, except either is correct. Your next setting is going to be your spacing. So the spacing that you're going to have a look at is first for your paragraph spacing. In this example here, it shows that there are 12 points before the paragraph and 12 points set to after. Usually before is set to 0. 0 points is good, then it doesn't conflict with the 12 points after. If you are not having any special indentation, like your paragraph is starting right up against the margin, I suggest that you apply a 12 points after paragraph setting. However, if you're doing a first line indent, then you can set the after paragraph setting to 0 points. The reason is that it's pretty obvious when you've got a first line indent as to where your next paragraph will begin, but it's not the case when they're all left indented, and that added space in between each paragraph is extremely helpful from a visual perspective. Next thing you're going to choose is your line spacing. So your line spacing is going to be set to double if you're using APA or 1.5 if you're using Harvard. Click now to go to the next slide. There's always a do and a do not. In this case, I'll show you the do first. Also at the bottom of that particular dialog box, they ask if you want to add this to the styles gallery. Well, yes, that's by default. It will automatically be added as well to the quick styles gallery at the very top of your screen. But the most important thing to remember is to tick next to new documents based on this template. If you don't do this, then it won't really add it to the template itself. So you need to click on new documents based on this template before you click on OK. But the do not is to do not click on automatically update. This has complicated repercussions, so we don't want to do that. No, we don't want it to automatically update at all. There's a place for this, but certainly isn't here. Alright, so click now to go to the final slide. Thank you for watching this presentation, and have a look at the next presentation for more details on actually formatting text and formatting paragraphs and so on and so forth. Thank you.